No. It now looks like my face has been taken off. Isn't that quite cool? I love it. So anyway, back to Asda. I've just actually stand there and the square doesn't go up on my face, but it went up on the person's before. So I wonder if my high demand to Asda to take me and my children off of face recognition has gone through. Who knows? So anyway, I don't tend to live when Dean's at home. One, because obviously if people hear him in the background watching stuff, it's caused for people to ring in from social. So anyway, between the two of us, we've just scraped some money together for some. What butter do you use? This is actually quite an interesting point on what butter do you use. Do you know most of this butter is made out of plastic? Like literally from the ones that are 84p to the ones that are 24 to the ones that are 140. I mean, do you know that most of these are not what you think it is? So anyway, when I'm doing I'm fucking broke, my 80p one is right up the back there. So this is what you do when you're really fucking broke. It's not good for you. It's shit and it's not very nice. So anyway, I'm trying to get my tooth out. This tooth here, seriously, I want to pull it out. I can't get into a dentist here in Portsmouth at the moment. So, but the challenge is the boys are in dental down here. So let's get back to joint parenting, right? Say you've got a mother who's on universal credits, whether she's working, whether she is on sick, or whether she is on full time. And this is to you dads out there, right? When you think you can turn around and go, turn it up, Asda. Love it. Oh, I'm down the wrong aisle. I want the sweetie aisle. I need some really fucking hard toffees right now. Cheap, shitty sweets. So, anyway, my thing about joint parenting, right? To any dads out there, where am I going? What sweets? Yeah, so say someone like me on universal credits. Obviously, my children get free dental, right? And as a person on universal credits, I've got to work out, Dean's just put £2.50 into my bank account and I've got 70p and he's holding back the pound. So I don't know if any of you know, but if you've ever got to get anywhere desperately and you've only got £1 left into your account, and everyone who budgets is monthly, it doesn't matter whether you're on universal credits, whether you're on low income or whatever, we all know what it's like to have to constantly deny ourselves things. And what was the other one? He wanted toffee, sorted toffee, dairy. I don't know if he'll want all sorted toffee sweets. So this is the problem with me and Dean not actually living together. We don't actually really know each other in. I know full well when I go and get sweets for Dean, I get sports mix because it's a very man thing to do. I'm assuming that means me and him are going to actually watch a film together. It's quite difficult when you happen to be so amicable for the sake of kids and you love each other and you have got so much issues going on, because in any relationship it turns into such begrudges. And the difficulty with, say, I should get something different. Sorry, I'm trying to do this, catch up with you all, let you all know what's going on in terms of getting family matters legal services moving forward, why it's important for people to let me know, hey, we're here, but we understand that you're moving forward and you can't do everything overnight and you've been here a long bloody time. And we don't always see the fruits of everything, but maybe we might understand how maybe you don't have to put your name down on everything. And sometimes I just need to turn up at the right place at the right time, say what I have to say, and it might not matter to people, but sometimes that petrol fund can be a massive big thing. It's probably about £13 and 13 back for me to get over to Dean's dad. And that's great, but I don't have to do this stuff. I don't. But at the end of the day, I can't be here going, all these families and we need to be doing that and we need to be doing this. That when it hurts, I end up reacting and becoming everything that I see going on out there. And I'm not willing to let that happen to me or my children. But what I'm saying in terms of if parents are getting, say like one mum is claiming the children are with her, and then like say Dean now is not entitled to full housing benefit, right? And that's because he's gone and got a 2-bedroom place, and at the end of the day, Dean doesn't need to get a house. Dean can move around, stay on the streets as he does, stay in squats, stay in artist places. He doesn't have to get a house, right? He can officially, literally come and see the boys from mine, but it stops me moving forward and it either being Dean's home or me and Dean having a relationship. Because the challenge, say Dean and I didn't have children together and Dean was a new man in my life, yeah? After you start dating somebody for so long, you've got to give up your benefits. You have to, that man has to take on everything. So if you're a person who's got a physical condition, and this is how things went so terribly wrong for me before, I'm just going to go for full-blown toffees and normal toffees, I think, because I just can't think straight today. And he'll go, why didn't you get this or that? And it's like, I just can't think straight at the moment. But say, like I said to Dean, I said, like, I can see if there's a dentist up there for the boys. And I said, yeah, but if you do that, Dean, you kick the dentist for the boys here, because you cannot claim in the UK at 2 places. So I said to the dentist about this, I said, hang on a minute, there must be lots of parents where children are living so far apart, or even in other countries. So how do you expect children with things like GPs, doctors, or 2 parents needing 2 rooms, and then put them on universal credits with housing benefit? So Dean is expected to pay the overload. A lot of people can turn around and say, hey, go and get a job. We are just getting our lives back after fucking social completely smashing us to pieces. And I don't think people understand that. 2 secs. I need a cash one. Cards only. Oh no, I need card. I got it on card. I got Dean to send it over to me. So he's so laughing. He's like, what shall I send you over? He's got like £4.50 left in his account. And then we're laughing as well because one of his websites is up with his art. And last night he had his first experience of his website texting him to say, hey, you've, hang on a minute. So cards you can't get cash off, by the way. So for anyone who puts everything on their phone, if your battery ever goes, which mine could, you're stuck. So keep your cards, even if you are on Apple Pay and stuff. So 2 secs. So yeah, there's dads out. So I would then have to write a letter. And this is how a lot of problems start as well. Like take CSA for an example. I know loads of parents, right, when CSA have contacted them, and in arguments, the man's gone, if you go to CSA, I'll end up quitting my job, I'll do this and I'll do that. So then the woman panics and thinks, wow, hang on a minute, if he pays me CSA, I'm going to do this, this and this. And I've seen, and I had this experience as well, when I left Graham tried to get me back by getting all the benefits taken off of me. When I was with Graham, I was already classed as a disabled person, but I was married, so I wasn't on any benefits, but at least I had my own car, at least things were sorted, do you know what I mean? So it's really, really, really difficult, because if somebody has a physical condition, be it your child or be it an adult, somebody is responsible for the duty of care of that person financially. And this is why I said to benefits, the best thing that you could do for people with conditions is get them an accountant. Yeah, get them a business manager. Stop disabling people and start actually... Thank you. And start actually enabling them. And so say hypothetically you've got somebody with Down syndrome. You have no idea what it is that person's gifts and tools are. So you find out, and then literally you put all of the correct support systems in place, and they become self-employed business manager of their own lives. So rather than just carers, can they wipe their asses? Can they do this? Can they do that? It's saying, who are they? What are they about? It's back Friday. Oh, Indie Camp has just come up on a discount. I've got to be careful because the moment I put my keys in, if my phone is not mounted, officially I can't have my phone in the car. And they are making it so they can tell the difference if you're driving. Now, my car is not upgraded for that, so that's fine. So anyway, at the moment, and I just want to reiterate this, like I've seen people with CSA ring and they'll say, oh, well, there's domestic violence, so therefore they don't have to pay. You forget that all these multi-agency frameworks share information. I have seen so many men end up in prison because women have been too scared. And I understand this more than anybody right now. And I have had these conversations with Dean. And me and Dean are battering at it. And Dean is standing there going, Kellie, I'm here. I understand that you have this trauma on and we're going to deal with it. But that doesn't mean that my trauma is going to go away. That doesn't mean my fear is going to go away. Because at the end of the day, no mother wants to be in a situation where they drop the children off or the father picks the children up. Difference is Dean doesn't currently drive. Does he want to drive? Yes, of course he wants to drive. But some fathers and mothers physically can't drive. So say somebody's got epilepsy. Say somebody has some form of condition with their heart. So you can't turn around and go, well, you don't drive, so I'm not willing to do it. Or say hypothetically with Dean, who didn't understand that actually the petrol, because he hadn't sat down and done that. All he knew is on this particular occasion, I gave him a choice. We either sort this fucking shit out or you get a house. Now, he felt it was better that he got a house. And it's where he's got it. He couldn't afford around here. He'd get a room around here. His rent is actually more than mine, funny enough, but he's in private rental and I'm in council housing association. So at the end of the day, I'm in a more secure position because say a landlord with everything going on right now turns around and goes like, I'm not going to see this year out. We would have to come back to council. I'm not willing to do that. Does that make a difficulty for our relationship? Because officially I could transfer this over to a van, pack up our entire home and take it up there and hand the keys and say, Portsmouth, you've been fucking cunts to me. Now fuck off. Dean's found a place for us and we're going for it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I do, wherever I go, my trauma is going to keep going with me. And it's like an elastic band. I could find a cabin in the fucking beach, mate. I could throw away the clocks. I could throw away a calendar. I could make sure that I don't know the difference between a Monday and a Friday. And I couldn't tell you the difference in whether it's fucking just turning freaking spring or do you know what I mean? Basically, I wouldn't have to know whether it was my children's birthday, whether a letter was going to be turning up, or whether something on the internet might trigger me off or make me go, yeah, see, that's more evidence to prove what's going on. I'm becoming more and more aware that I want my teeth done, and I desperately do. I want my teeth sorted. I want this all done. It's not fair that I've been left with EDS not having any of the actual treatment. If somebody has physical condition with subluxations and dislocations, therefore there should be some way of relocating the subluxations and dislocations. And Dean made a valid point with me. He's saying it's not that he doesn't believe me, it's that he can't crack my joints. And that's all he's saying. He doesn't know what to do for me in the mornings. He doesn't know, other than people going, come on, you've got to push past it, which can be really, really difficult for somebody with a condition. That's like when I was a child and people were saying, come on, Kellie, get up. You have to acknowledge the problem first. You cannot brush problems under the carpet. You cannot say this problem doesn't exist, therefore we're just going to cover it up. This has to stop. Because eventually you either have to amputate that gangrene or you got to dig it out. And it's not nice. It's not nice to sit there and deal with painful situations when you've got no referee, no media. It's like putting an ex-partner and a normal person, not a secure place to be. Yeah, a private landlord and his house. Just to go back to the private landlord thing, I made the decision to strategically put me and my 4 children into social housing, hence why we'd gone to Save the Family in the first place, because I'd been kicked out of private rental, which was done by Stephen and his sister, going and clearing my bank account out with his sister as me as the claimant, and the police turned around and said, it's a civil matter. And this is the problem, whether something is criminal or whether something is civil. And no mum wants to put herself in a situation where she hands the children over to her father And all of a sudden, say Dean could put the boys into school, turn around to Universal Credits and go, the boys are here now. That means me as a mother, and this is no different than what social do to families when they remove the children. So they basically remove the children, claim for the children's child benefit, then they claim for the benefits for the child being there that they are entitled to, and all of their budgets. In the meantime, in that 26-week court process, the parents are spiraling in and out, be it that they live in separate homes, be it they live in the same home, be it that they have a job, or be it they have a benefits. It's like lockdown and COVID. Once they are in and the child is removed, the mother then loses, or father then loses their child benefit. And that's what they're doing to me at the moment. They're claiming back every single penny of child benefit for Aaron and Faith, which is coming out the money that I have now, which I'm fighting all of this. Plus the fact that my car insurance to keep me on the road costs me £192 a month at the moment. So it's killing me. At my age, I should be paying no more than £30 to £50 for my car insurance. But this is all to do with all of these little shitty things that have been going on around. But I'll get there. It just means that when things are not the way of the world, you've got to put all your faith in the Lord. I could walk out here, mate, and pick a 20 quid off the floor, yeah? I could go and find something that I could put up on eBay and sell. There is plenty of ways, but then you're crossing lines in tax, benefits, and that's why it becomes a trap, because you can't free fall. So anyway, some people spend, some people save, and then there are the investors. As hard as this is, I am officially now the owner of Family Matters Legal Services. Gonna fucking skimp me out. But I don't care. Invest, 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 and I'll get there. And that day that we can sit there and turn around and say that nobody shut us down, nobody kicked us out, no barrister fucked us over, no solicitor fucked us over, and we carried this through all the way. Nobody said no, because I carried it through saying yes, and I'm going to build this with a team that says yes. Any barrister out there that wants to really fucking kick the shit out of this services and come on the right team, step this way. Any solicitor that wants to step forward, step this way. We'll come on this side to the people that want to keep families together, yeah? And not just that, to get the justice of things that have been going, because they said that this was not going on currently, and it is. And it ain't a case closed. We just have to come back better, harder, faster, and stronger. Go big or go home. So it doesn't matter whether I'm north, south, where my address is. The website is online. I'm going to be behind building it. If people do want to contribute to keep me going, then PayPal is going to be up there. I'm happy for people to do this. Every free content that I put out is free. I'm not paying any or charging anybody. And at the end of the day, I could be charging £5,000 consultation fee as a coach, but I don't feel that I'm back there yet. When my kids are home, it'd be different. I'll get my money from my book, but right now we got butter and we ain't scruff, and we got some toffees, and I'm gonna go and watch NCSI, and Dean and I are gonna laugh about how precious life is, and that we can lose our fathers, our mothers, our uncles, our aunts, our cousins, even our children at any point. Dean says I got to shut the fuck up over even asking whether Aaron and Faith are even alive. He keeps telling me, don't even talk about that shit. Now shut the fuck up. They're fine. You know this. But I have to ask the question. In the current pandemic, I haven't had my letter reference Aaron and Faith. And I want evidence from the courts, from Wrexham Adoption Agency, or any person that my children are safe, alive, are well, and happy, healthy, and thriving. And I want the evidence that my children are alive. Because people have died. They've already had one car accident with my children. It's not paranoia. I have every right to peace of mind to know that Aaron and Faith are safe and well. Just as I have every right to know that Daniel and Liam are happy and loving the lives that they've got. Liam is in therapy for all of this. So that's not good, but I'm glad that he's getting the help for it. And anything is, you know, we will deal with anything, because that's what you do. That's what families do. So I get Dean to see his dad, and I think they both really need this. It's been about 1.5 years since they've seen each other since. It's been a bit different for me, 9 years. I have seen my dad at 2 funerals. And my mum, seriously, stopped meddling with Debbie, and I won't have my mum tell me to take... My dad's rang to say, take the photograph down on him. No, get my account taken down. I dare you. Because at the end of the day, to all step parents and all step families, I am my father's firstborn. I am my father's oldest child. And if anything happens to my father, I am my father's oldest daughter. And I always will be. Been waiting 18 months on a referral. Wow, see, this is another thing as well. Like, one, this is all about privatisation and stuff. It doesn't matter whether it's property, health, or anything going on right now. It's about this. Who's paying for it, basically? And that's a position that I want to get myself back into, is that it doesn't matter what it is, I can just pay for it. It doesn't matter if right now I needed to ring up somebody and say how much it's going to cost me to move Dean's stuff down, and I can just pay that. It doesn't matter if my children need roller skates, I can pay that. It doesn't matter whether or not I need dentist, I can pay that. It shouldn't matter whether it's 250 quid or £2,000. I want to be able to just pay that. I don't want to think about my bills. I don't want to think about how much my rent is. And I'd like to own my home outright. I know at the end of the day, it all goes back in a box. But there is nothing wrong with hopes and dreams. There is nothing wrong with having aspirations. There is nothing wrong with designing your own home. It's just that people will go, why does she think she's so special? Well, because I am. Don't make me narcissist. I am. I am. To me, to my children, and to the people that I matter to. We all are. And we don't have to put up with this shit. They get you to tolerate stuff so much, and I don't. But what I'm not willing to do is put myself in a vulnerable position, but I'm also not willing to allow for the fear, the dogma, and the propaganda that goes on to make me react to anything, because that is the key for me in reaction versus respond. And especially with my relationship with my mother has constantly kept me in reaction. Social services has kept me constantly in reaction. And it's not a nice place to be, constantly having to defend yourself against people's persecutions. Take tonight before I go. I shot down, all the police were outside my old place, and it turns out it's the one person who's now 2 years free from drugs, mate. And do you know what? That lad has taken more shit off people thinking he's going to go back and whether they can trust him over he ever had to deal in his life. But I stood there with that police officer and said, but you're not going to treat him like that now, are you? Because he is not that person, and actually doesn't need to be treated like that person now, does he? Now, again, there's going to be another family here with potentially social in their lives. They don't realise at the moment you let them go through that door, they will multi-agency framework you. You have to contact the police to say, you do not refer my child over to social, and there is no interference or involvement with social. But this is, again, people have to understand their laws, their rights. If a police officer knocks on my window now, I don't even have to talk to him. I could literally they could go, are you on your phone in your car, love? Now, the question is, what do you do when people can use physical violence? Whether it be the police, whether it be other people. How do you deal with situations when people want you to do something, but they got to make you do it? And that's why people don't like me. Because there is no violence. There is no fear. I have been through it all. I have been pinned down and raped as a child. They might have got my body, but they'll never get my soul. I have been forced to live in places I don't want to be because of being an army wife. I have been dragged out of my home and put into foster care. I have had to leave when my dad tells me that he wants to be with somebody else and completely destroys our family, and I'm packed off to go and do that. I've learned to have to accommodate and accept in many situations. And now I say no more. This is my life, my vision, my dreams, my aspirations. And if I want to travel around the world, taking pictures of sunrise, sunset, and making fucking awesome memories in the middle, skating, dancing, playing music, and hanging around in a park, I really couldn't give a shit whether the slaves want to give me an opinion.